Hey guys, Nikki Jackson with Elevate the Narrative. Hey, I'm not sure if you had a chance to check out the latest blog post, but it's called Workers' Comp Riding a Wave of Profits and Attracting Big-Time Investors. I've been getting a lot of questions about this one, so I thought I would do a quick vlog on it. So this is geared specifically towards workers' comp today. Now, right now, workers' comp is not just doing well, it's thriving in ways that are catching everyone's attention with record profits and major investments just pouring in. Now, imagine the industry swimming in a lake of profits. It sounds pretty dramatic, right? But that's exactly how one leader described it. I think it was Joe Paduta, and he's not wrong based on the data. And we're going to take a look at that in a second here. But yesterday, I saw PRN Newswire had posted a huge announcement that Atlas Partners announced a massive investment in Sedgwick. And as you know, Sedgwick is one of the top claims management companies. Now, the deal values Sedgwick at a staggering $13.2 billion. Yes, billion with a B. And when I was working at Sedgwick back in 2018, I think Carlyle had invested in them. And at that point, they were valued at $6.7 billion. So from 2018 to 2024, they went from $6.7 billion to $13.2 billion. Holy growth, Batman, right? So the announcement said that Atlas is joining existing investors, Carlyle and Stone Point Capital, and their commitment of $1 billion, in my opinion, shows how much confidence they have in Sedgwick and the wider workers' compensation space as a whole. But here's the thing, and you've got to keep this in mind. Sedgwick reaches far beyond just workers' compensation, right? They're a global company operating in more than 80 countries. Sedgwick handles everything from property loss adjusting and liability claims to warranty solutions, absence management, all of that stuff. So I saw an article this morning, which was September 13th, 2024, that came out from Business Insurance. And they reported that Sedgwick said they managed 8 million claims last year. So again, you've got to keep in mind where they're operating and the lines of business. It's not just about workers' comp, right? It's bigger than that. So the numbers are really, really fascinating. And I think last month at WCI, I forget who it was that was up on the stage. I really should know this, and I'll try to link it in the comments. But he said, you can't rely on just the NCCI data. And he's right. He's absolutely right. But I want to start with that because in their latest State of the Line report, here's what they reported. The net combined ratio for workers' comp is a remarkable 86%. Now that signals some serious profitability, right? Also, and if you have not heard this, you might be living under a rock. But if this is your first time hearing it, I want you to really hear it. The workers' compensation industry is sitting on $18 billion in excess reserves. Yes, billion with a B, right? When you factor in investment income, private carriers' pre-tax operating profits hit an astonishing 23%. So again, that guy from WCI is in the back of my mind saying, don't just use those. I mean, of course, they're valuable insights, but there's other sources that are corroborating this strong financial performance. So if you look at the Workers' Compensation Insurance Rating Bureau of California, the WCIRB, they reported similar trends in their state where the projected accident year combined ratio increased by 2 points to 111% in 2023. Now that's the fourth consecutive year of a combined ratio above 100%. Additionally, if you look at AM Best's market segment report on U.S. work comp, they highlighted the sector's resilience, noticing that despite economic challenges, the line itself remains profitable with stable outlooks. So again, you've got multiple data points, various organizations painting a consistent picture of a thriving workers' comp insurance market. So those numbers are really, really difficult to ignore. The industry just seems to be kind of riding a wave of profits, even as premium rates continue to drop across the board. So what does this mean for you? That's what everyone wants to know, right? Well, if you're an employer and you've got a sunny disposition, you'd say that profitability, employers should be expecting much lower rates and not just like a little dip, but significantly lower premiums and also substantial dividends if your carrier is a mutual insurance company. Now, if we back up a second and talk about that $18 billion in excess reserves, it's essentially money that should be going back to policyholders, right? So this says to me that premiums are currently too high and employers are paying more than they need to for work comp insurance. Now, I'm not an economist, but I can put the pieces together. And to cover myself here, it's important to note that insurance pricing and reserving, they're really complex topics, right? There's a lot of other factors and things influencing the industry's decision-making regarding premiums and reserves. So I am not that person. But again, I can put the pieces together. On the healthcare side of things, medical inflation in workers' comp is lower than the national average, hovering at about 2%. So on the surface, you'd think that, hey, that's really great news, but there are areas where costs are starting to climb. And an example of this are ASCs, or ambulatory surgical centers, and outpatient services. They're taking up a bigger share of the medical spend. Now, on the flip side, drug spending continues to drop. And now I think it accounts for about 7% of the total workers' comp medical expenses, which is down from about 12%, when I began, maybe back in like 2012 era. So it's really a mixed bag, something to keep an eye on. Now, if you're an insurer and you're listening to this, I think it's the perfect time for carriers to reinvest in their operations. So this little wave that we're riding, this period of profitability and the confidence shown by major investors like Atlas that we saw that yesterday put $1 billion into Sedgwick, it's a golden opportunity to modernize. So the work comp sector and the entire property and casualty industry has been a little slow to adopt new technologies. We had a little push during COVID, but now we're kind of slow again. Well, with profits so high, in my opinion, who am I, right? But hey, in my humble opinion, there's no excuse not to bring in the tech and the tools that are going to streamline claims management and improve efficiency and make these lives of adjusters so much better. And then subsequently also help the injured party as well. Because again, we're talking about work comp today. So I have a few blog posts that are dedicated to the tech, and you can look for those on our website at elevatethenarrative.com. So finally, the road ahead. While the current state of workers' comp is good, the level of profitability and investment interest isn't always guaranteed forever. So just like our industry leader friend Joe said, how did he word it? Let me go back up. Swimming in a lake of profits. Those lakes can surely dry up. So we have to be mindful of that, right? Economic cycles change, new regulations come up, and unexpected things can really shake things up. So it's not guaranteed forever. So it's really important, employers, insurers, claims professionals, whoever, whatever your role, act now and act strategically. Employers should be pushing for lower rates and look for carriers that are offering more competitive dividends, and insurers should be using these profits to invest in tech and innovation. And same thing for claims professionals. Focus on efficiency and cost management to help maintain the industry's strong performance. So although workers' comp is kind of basking in the sun and major investments are flowing in, it's really up to all of us to keep it that way and make the most of this period of prosperity. By investing in the future and staying smart about how we use these resources, we can build a more resilient, efficient, and fair system for the long run. So I'd love to know your thoughts. Go ahead and share them with me. Find that blog post or comment here. What are your current thoughts on the state of comp right now? And what are you thinking about that recent investment in Sedgwick? And how can we leverage this period of profitability and investment for long-term sustainability? Drop it in the comments. Let's talk. See ya. Bye.
Elevate the narrative. The insurance world's stuck in its ways, but we're here to elevate, turn a new page. Get ready for the positive change we'll make. The transformation has started, no more mistakes. For years we've seen this industry stall, working in insurance potential. But those times are over, we won't be delayed. It's time to elevate, join the brigade. The old ways are fading, diminishing returns. We're lighting a new fire that passionately burns, fueled by innovation, creativity, spark. Get on board for a thrilling new start.